Food is my life. You might think it's difficult to make traditional Indian dishes in today's modern world. There's not enough time. Or maybe nobody's there to teach you their secret family recipe. Maybe it's forgotten or lost. I'm going to prove you wrong. When I teach Indian cooking, I teach you very basic art of blending spices. So you can create thousands of traditional dishes. That way, you can add your own personal touch to Indian cooking. I promise, I can carve a classic Indian chef out of you. I'm Jassie Bakhshi, and this is Taste of Tradition.
If anyone knows the secret to choosing the ideal bunch of spinach for sag paneer, it's Master Chef Jassie Bakhshi. As a successful restaurateur, Jassie has run internationally renowned kitchens all over the world. Now, he's sharing his culinary trademarks in traditional Indian cooking. Today, he'll show you his recipe for the fluffiest vegetable pakora, the most savory sag paneer, and his own invention, an Indian paintbrush.
Hi, I'm Jassie Bakhshi. Welcome to Taste of Tradition. Today, I'll be showing you how to make vegetable pakoras. Now we're going to start with the chickpeas flour. I'm going to add this garlic and ginger paste, about 1.5 teaspoons in there. I'm going to use, just to give a little bit of a punch or a heat, hot chilies. I'm just adding about 1/2 teaspoon from this one. I have some chopped green chilies which I'm going to add to it. So what I did, I just de-seeded my chilies so it's not too hot. Here's about 2 medium-sized chilies. Next ingredient I'm going to put it in there, cumin powder. Here's the cumin powder, about 1/2 teaspoon in there. Okay, next ingredient I'm going to add to it is coriander seeds. In Indian cooking, it's very, very important how you add the spices, what time you add the spices, and what shape and form you're adding your spices. So this time I'm going to use a different form of coriander. I'm going to change the method. I'm going to crush those coriander seeds on my palm. What the crushing would do, just release its oils. That goes right in there. One small cooking tip right here, very, very important. If anytime you're doing any sort of frying dish and you want to make a little extra crispy, as a cooking tip, add a little bit of oil to it. It's going to give a little bit extra crispy. Not a whole lot of oil. I'm using about 1.5 teaspoon right here just to make oil in there. Just to make a season it, we need a little bit of salt to taste. Another important thing, small pinch of a baking soda. Why would I like to use some baking soda in there? That's going to make your pakoras a little bit more fluffier. Let's put some love in there. We're going to touch and feel our food. How are you going to form your hands? I would like to form my hand a claw like this. Do not try to do like this. If you're doing this or you're using 2 hands or doing like this is the method of making a dough. Dough means lump. Big lump you're trying to make. But when you're making it better, basically you're trying to get rid of the lumps. Add a little bit of water at a time and let's start mixing it slowly. We are all ready to go to make our pakoras. So in order to fry it, I have a little deep fryer here. But if you don't have any deep fryer, so you can do the same thing in your wok as well. Perfect temperature for deep frying a pakoras is a 320 to 350 degree Fahrenheit. I'm going to start with potatoes. Right here I have sliced potatoes. So another thing to keep in mind right here while we're making pakoras, when you put in a batter, do not go like this. If you go like this, that'll be dripping all over and you're making mess in your kitchen, which you don't want. All right, what you do, just flip your pakoras, let your batter to run other side. So that way, there's no mess in your kitchen. So let's clean up. This is looking nice. So next one, I'm going to go a little cauliflower. I have little mushrooms here. This is a lot bigger, but these mushrooms are a little too big, so I cut them in halves. Or if it's too big, you can go even in quarters. So no big deal, the way you like to do it. Oh, that's looking beautiful. It's frying so well. This is a really, really nice snack for your cocktails or tea parties or just before your dinner. Even kids just love it too. Next one, I'm just making little onion pakoras. Onion pakora, what I did, I just made little rings out of it. So you can go one ring at a time if you want, but if you want to speed up, just keep dropping your rings just like this. So we need to flip those. The best idea would be if you have a little tongue, just pick up all the pakoras, you flip them upside down. This is doing really well. What we'll do, we'll just leave this baby alone because it's going to take about 5-7 minutes or 10 minutes. While this thing is going, I'm going to mix up a little dip for you guys. I'm just using a little cream cheese dip. Here's little cream cheese. And I'm going to give the same flavor which is like in the mint chutney. I like to add a little mint and cilantro to it. Here I have some fresh mint. And put the mint right in there. And a little bit of cilantro. Few stems of cilantro, fresh cilantro. It looks so beautiful. It smells so good too. I just love it. I just love working with the fresh vegetables. That's really, really good. So another thing to keep in mind while you're chopping your cilantro, you don't have to take your stems out. Stems has its own very nice flavor by itself. I like to keep it in there. So give it a nice mix. Let's check it out. Pakoras are looking excellent golden right now. But the first thing I'll do, I just put a little bit on a paper towel just like this, so that whatever any extra oil in there, so this paper towel will absorb it. So after leaving it for a few minutes on your paper towel, it soaks up all the oil. All this combination, a different melange of pakoras I would call, and it's looking excellent, guys. I'm going to sprinkle, give a little bit more buzz to this guy. Sprinkle a little bit of chaat masala on it. What is chaat masala? Basically, is a spiced mango powder, dehydrated mango powder, which is sour, and I mix some spices to it and give it a very nice seasoning. It's a really, really nice seasoning. And just sprinkle on top of it. I cannot wait. It's looking so beautiful. I have to try this. That's so yummy. Welcome back. We'll be cooking saag paneer today. Saag, when we're talking about saag, what we're talking about? We are talking about literally is cooking with the greens. So today we'll be using spinach. Spinach is most commonly used for an saag paneer if we are not in North India. So let's get started. First of all, get my stove going. And we're going to start with a little bit of oil. I have some pre-chopped onions. I'm just going to use, like I would say, half a small onion. What I need to do with my onion, basically I need to do it a little golden brown. So while this thing working, I'm going to work on my garlic and ginger. In order to chop the garlic, I want to use a small technique. Just with your knife, just push a little. If you're in a crush, doesn't matter, we're going to chop it anyway. And the peel comes out so easy, so you don't have to ruin your fingernails. One more, just give one more push. While this is going, I'll give it one more small stir. This is doing okay. Peel your garlic all the way through. It's already peeled. Let's chop it up. So I need some chopped ginger at the same time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a few slices of ginger. Nicely fine chopped ginger. My onion is almost done. This is going back to my pan again. I can see my onions are getting golden now. I'm going to add a small touch of a half a teaspoon of garlic ginger paste as well. What this garlic ginger paste is going to do to my dish is going to give me a little bit more of thickening agent kind of thing and make my dish a little bit more thicker. Next one, the time for my chopped tomatoes. Add what one and a half large tomato right in there. What I'm going to do is some of the tomatoes I already pre-blended. I put in my food processor. I just made a blend my tomatoes. So about a half a large tomato. Put it right in there. It's looking beautiful. This is the time to start adding some of my spices again. I'm going to add my spices right here. I'm going to add a little bit of Kashmiri chilies here, a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of Kashmiri chilies. My homemade garam masala, I would say 1/2 or 1/4 teaspoon because we're going to add one more time. It's smelling very good. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So as I just showed you before the break, we were doing a little masala here. My masala is looking excellent. Masala is done. And it's about time to start adding my spinach and paneer in there. You can go spinach just like that if you like. You can chop it. You can make puree it. So always your call what kind of consistency you like to see. I like to see a little bit of more choppy consistency. My spinach is ready. I'll give another stir to my masala right here. Let's get your spinach in. My spinach is in. Just give a nice stir to this guy. Just mix up the whole thing. I'm going to add my paneer at the same time. Here we go, lots of paneer in there. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in there. And it's time for my favorite heavy whipping